Hey guys, and welcome to my first ever tutorial. Today we are going to be making 100% pen Pong, like it says in the name right there. So first, we are going to get the pen extension, which allows us to draw. We are going to then name our sprite pen, go to costumes, delete the sprite, or costume, and then name the costume pen. This just allows us to have a nice named sprite and costume, which is nice and sorted. So next we are going to delete this variable, and we're going to create 4 vars called P1Y1, no, not 2, P1Y1, P1Y2, P2Y1, and P2Y2. These will be helpful because they will track the positions of our paddles, but we don't need to show those, so they're gone now. So we're gonna get a 1 flag clicked block, and we're gonna set P1Y1 to -30. We are going to set P1Y2 to 30. We are going to set P2Y1 to -30. We're going to set P2Y2 to 30. We are then going to get a forever block and an erase all block inside of that. Next, we are going to make a block called draw background. This, like it says, will draw the background. So we're gonna set pen color to black. You're going to set pen size to 999, just an easy number to type. We're going to pen down and pen up. We are also going to go to X0, Y0. Now, even though we have a white background over here, if we put this draw background block in the forever loop, then we will have a black background, which keeps it 100% pen, because the background is nothing. Next, we will create a block called draw line from X, Y to X2, Y2, and we're going to say go to X, X, Y, Y. We're going to pen down. We're going to duplicate that, put a pen up at the end. We're going to go to X, X2, Y, Y2. This draws a line from the positions you put in the inputs. So we have this custom block right over here. So next we are going to create a block called paddle 1 and another one called paddle 2. These will be our paddles. And so we are going to set pen color to white. It looks good against the black background we have. And we are going to set pen size to 5. We are then going to draw a line from P1Y, from X -200, P1Y1, and X -200, P1Y2. So now if we put that into that, into the forever loop, we will have a paddle, but it can't move yet. So we're going to say 2 if blocks, and we're going to put 2 of these inputs inside of them. And it's going to be W and S right over there. So up and down are W and S for the WASD keys. For that, we're going to change P1Y1 by 5. We are also going to change P1Y2 by -5 in the first one. No, by 5, not -5. And then we're going to change it by -5 in the second one. I think my head got mixed up with that. But now, if we press W and S, we have a moving paddle, which will be good, because, that's how Pong works. So, in paddle 2, we are going to duplicate this, and we're just going to set this to P2Y1, set this to P2Y2. We are also going to set this to up arrow and down to down arrow. These will also be the P2 versions of the variables. So now, if we put paddle 2 in there, it doesn't have the X right, but we can change that by setting it to 200, then 200. Boom. We have 2 moving paddles. Next, we will create a block called ball. And we are going to say, we are going to set pen size to 10, and we are going to set pen color to white. We are then going to make put a go-to block right there, and we're going to create 3 variables called ball X, ball Y, and ball direction. The DIR stands for direction. So we are going to go to X, ball X, Y, ball Y. We are then going to pen down and pen up. We are also going to get 2 change blocks, and we're going to change ball X and ball Y. And we're going to get 2 absolute value blocks. And we're going to set this to cosine and this to sine. We are going to then do times, and we are going to do, we're going to put them inside the times blocks. So we're going to do 6 times cosine of ball direction. This allows the ball to move, and so if we put the ball right over there, we have a moving ball. But the ball X is sort of going forever, and when you click the flag, it won't reset. So what we're going to do is we're going to set ball X to 0, and we're going to set ball Y to 0 when the flag is clicked. But it's only going in one direction, which isn't nice. And also, we are going to update the paddles to have some borders. So we're going to put some if blocks, and we're going to say if it's less than 200, so if P1 Y2 is less than 200, then you can go up. So technically we should have borders now. Yeah. But we can't go down yet because we haven't set the input to that. So we are going to say if something is over negative 200, and that something will be P1Y1. So now we will have some nice working borders for our player 1 right over there. So next we are going to set these to P2Y1, and we're going to set these to P2Y2. So now we have 2 working borders for our paddles. That is just to get that over with, because there's a bug that happens if you keep holding the up arrow too much, and that's why, like up or down arrow too much, and that's why you need the borders. So yeah. So next we are going to create a block that says set ball direction. I guess you could just set it to the actual name of it, like with the capitals, but I guess you don't need to do that. And so we are going to set ball direction to pick random 1 to 4, and we're gonna get 3 if else blocks, and we're gonna put an equals block in all of them. Then gonna do 1, 2, and 3. Then we're gonna set ball. So we're gonna put ball direction in the first input of those 2. Next, in the first one, we're gonna set ball direction to 45. We're gonna set ball direction to negative 45. Then we're gonna set ball direction to 135, and we're going to set ball direction to negative 135. This allows us to have a random angle when the flag starts. So we are going to set ball direction, and so when the flag is clicked, you can see that there is a random angle that the ball goes when the flag is clicked. So next, we are going to make a block called bounce. This will allow the ball to bounce, as you may have already guessed. So we are going to get 4 if blocks, and these will allow us to know like where the ball's position is. So we're gonna get an over block, and we're gonna do 189, and we're gonna put a ball X in the first input. We are then going to get an if-else block. No. Yeah. We're going to get an if-then block, and we're going to say if, and so we're going to get a more than block, and we're going to do 0.01. This will then, when we put the timer there, fix a very teensy tiny bug that rarely happens, but you want to fix your bugs, right? Then we are going to put an if then else block, and we are going to say we're going to get an and block, and we're going to say if it's over something and less than something. So we're going to get ball Y and ball Y right off there, and we're going to get P1, and we're going to get P2Y1 and P2Y2 because those are what it is. And so next we are going to get a sound, and we're gonna give the finger snap and rename it hit. You can choose any sound you want. It is just for satisfaction. And so in the first one we're gonna start sound hit, and we're gonna get another if else block, and we're gonna say it equals 45. And so if ball direction equals 45, we're gonna set ball direction to 135. In the other one, we are going to set it to negative 135. Next, in the other one, we will get that same one, and we are going to change, and we're going to make two variables called P1 points and P2 points. And so once we do that, we are going to change P1 points by 1 because it got past player 2's side. So let's just put the bouncing at the end of that. And then if we go over there, it does bounce, but we'll fix that bug later because it isn't bouncing off the top like it should, which is resulting in some weird bugs, which you do not want. And so next we're going to get a less than negative 189 block, and we're going to put ball X there. We are then going to get an if timer, or 0.01. You may be wondering why the timer is doing that though, and we're going to reset timer at the end of that. Which does help because you will be fixing the bug because it won't go past and then it'll hit it again, which results in two sounds, which isn't nice because Scratch does that. And so we're gonna switch this to P1Y1 and P1Y2. We are then going to do we're going to set this to 135, set this to 45, set this to negative 45. We are then going to set this to, again, 135, 45, and negative 45. We will also change P2 points by 1 instead of just P1 points. So now it should be able to bounce off of both of the sides, as you can see right here. Boom. So next, we are going to get an a bigger than block, and we're going to set this to 180, and we're going to put ball Y there. We are then going to get an if-else block, and we're going to say if it equals 40, then, so if ball direction equals 45, then we are going to set ball direction to negative 45. And we are going to set ball direction to negative 135 in the other one. So now, if it goes up, it should be able to bounce off of the edge, which is great, right? So next we are going to get a less than, and we're going to do negative 180. And so this is going to be ball Y again. And we are going to duplicate this. We are just going to switch that to a negative number and switch these to positive numbers. So now it should bounce off the bottom. And so if we go right on the bottom, it also bounces again. So now that that's done, we are also, when the flag is clicked, we're going to set P1 points to 0, and we're going to set P2 points to 0. We are also going to make a block called, because there is nothing for the ball to hit and it just goes back, we are going to make a red wall that, I know it's the name of a book, just so you know, but we're going to make a red wall that the ball will bounce off of if it gets past your paddle. So we are going to set pen color to red, and we are going to set pen size to 70. We are then going to draw a line from negative 240 and negative 200 to negative 240 to 200. We will then duplicate that, and we're going to say 240 in the first one and 240 in the second. This just draws a red wall, like I said, but we can put that in our little forever loop there. So now it's starting to look like Pong, but we're gonna make like something that you need to win. Okay, so we're gonna do winning, and then win val. So that will be how much you need to win. And so we're gonna get an if block and an if block, and we're gonna get two greater than blocks. We're gonna put a minus and a subtraction block in the first one, and we're gonna do 1 and 1. So then we are going to make a win variable. So it's a winner variable, and this will just show who the winner is. And so if P1 points and if P2 points over 1 val minus 1, then we're going to set winner to P1. You're going to show variable and we are going to stop all. We're going to duplicate that, and we're just going to set it to P2. And so when we do that, we are also, when we click the flag, we are also going to hide variable winner. So even though it's still there, it won't be there when you click the flag. We are also going to put the winning block right over here and just type in the score you want to win. And so you can have like 20 points to win, or you can have 5 points to win. Doesn't matter, just type in what you want. And so let's just test this out, okay? So you have that, right? But it looks ugly if you do that. So I'd recommend putting the winning block right there. Now we're going to set this to large readout. And we're going to set this to large readout, which will be good because that will show the points up on the top of the screen right over there. And so, last but not least, we are going to make a custom block called all. And we will have that. And instead of all of those blocks, we're going to put the all block right over there. So there you have it, a 100% pen Pong game that you can make yourself. You can go play that with your friends now. Bye. Have a great day. Bye.